Hello, welcome back to the My Community Made YouTube channel. My name is Edward Fisher Jr. I'm the owner and lead developer of My Community Made. I'm trying something a little bit differently. For the past year or so, I've been writing weekly updates for the MCM seller group, talking about what I'm working on every week. Those updates are starting to get longer and longer. So instead of writing them and sort of having this intimidating wall of text on the help group every week, I figured it might be better for me to record this as a video, put it on the YouTube channel where anyone can see it. Even vendors that might not have signed up yet, or customers that are just interested in new features we're adding. So that's what this is. If you have any questions that you'd like me to answer in a future video, be sure to add that as well, and be sure to subscribe so that you can see any of the new tutorials or updates as they come out. So now I will get into the updates that we've been working on. Before I do that, I actually want to quickly go over some search trends. In these weekly updates, I like to talk about what's sort of trending as far as searches. We've been asked before to show some metrics on search volume in the site. So the popular searches for this week are the terms 2023, 2024, crochet, jewelry, and miniature. And what we mean by popular searches is that is what people are typing into the search bar at the top of the site in the header. For changes that I've made to the site, we've resolved a bug that affects any users using the no shipping class. And what that means is if you've tried to buy anything on our website and you've gotten the response that there's no shipping available for where you live, it might have been a result of this no shipping bug. I'm not sure if why vendors use the no shipping class. The no shipping class actually isn't intended to be used unless you are trying to prevent any shipping from occurring. It seems like some vendors might be confused and might be using it as a free shipping class when that's not what it is. So in the past, when our algorithm encountered the no shipping class on a product, it would just turn off shipping, which would mean that that product would not be shippable. This is sort of how the digital and virtual products on the site work. However, because the no shipping class can be selected whether or not your product is virtual, it created a small problem where some vendors would list a product as no shipping even though the product wasn't virtual or wasn't digital. And to prevent that issue from occurring anymore, I've just edited our shipping algorithm to always work regardless of shipping class, even on free shipping. So my thoughts there are that even with free shipping, if a customer chooses to pay that shipping price, it's better than running into situations where shipping fails on the free shipping class or the no shipping class. It's always good to have other options available for that customer for shipping. So this change is just trying to prevent any customers from running into a situation where they're unable to purchase a product due to a shipping error. The other change I've made this week is a result of the website redesign that we're doing. We're redesigning the entire My Community Made website. So you've been following along for the last 3 months. You've seen us redo the header, the footer, the homepage. That is continuing on. I've just redesigned the about page, the about page being mycommunitymade.com/about. And that about page now has a brand new look to it. It works a lot better on mobile. I've stripped out a lot of code that doesn't need to be there anymore that was slowing the site down. And I've also cleaned up some third-party libraries, which goes right into our next update. Speed improvements across the entire site. So we've removed some third-party code, dash icons, and WooCommerce usage tracking from running at all. This just gives us a little bit more of an edge as far as load speed is concerned. We are actually at a really decent place with load speed. We are beating most of the competition when it comes to actual usage on mobile devices. We still aren't beating Etsy as far as load speed, but that's to be expected. But as we get closer to the 5,000, 6,000 user range, or I should say as we get closer to the 6,000 to 10,000 user range, we really can't have too much performance. So anywhere I can find any performance, we're taking it. So that also leads into the next two changes I made, which was delaying JavaScript execution and delayed CSS execution. So all this does is it slightly increases the chance that the site might look a little wonky for 1 to 2 seconds prior to page load. But it allows us to sort of ensure that the website's not waiting on CSS or JavaScript before loading fully on a mobile device. And what this does is it sort of dramatically increases what's called the LCP rating of the site, or the largest contentful paint. It allows those images to load just a little bit faster, and it gives us a little bit of a higher page ranking. Now, page ranking isn't just for user experience, although that's the most important part of it. It also increases our search engine optimization ranking. So if you're thinking, I don't know if the site looking wonky for half a second is really worth us making a minor page speed improvement. It really is, because Google will actually charge us a lower rate if we have a higher page speed ranking. I've made some improvements to our product feeds. Those product feeds, again, that's when you list a product. Once a day, all of the products on the website are sort of squished down into a single file. They're sent to Facebook and they're sent to Google. And then Facebook and Google keeps a copy of those files and creates product schema and products that it can show people through Google Shopping or through Facebook Shopping. And when I pay for advertising on the product level, what I'm doing is I'm advertising those product snippets. And then when users click those snippets, they get taken to the My Community Made page for your product, where they can buy them. So our product feed algorithm hasn't changed too much on the Google side. I've made a lot of edits to it on Facebook, but I've gone through and I've also edited the Google side to remove identifier exists from showing up on any of the Google products. And what this does is it actually lowers the cost of advertising for all Google products, so we can get a bit more out of our ad spend. Identifier exists is a sort of a Boolean value. It's a yes/no value that we supply for each product as to whether or not there is a SKU or a brand or any specific title that would identify that product. Being that our site is for mostly handmade and vintage products, there usually is not a identifier exists value that can be placed within those products. So we made the decision to turn it off across the board. We had that on because some vintage products do have SKUs and brands associated with them that we would want to leave that a identifier exists on for, but we decided that the impact it has on SEO and cost per click, it's not worth leaving it on for those few products that actually utilize it. I've made some marketing changes across the site as a whole. I've noticed that Facebook ads are getting more expensive. We're not entirely sure why. I've also noticed that vendor-focused ads are really under competitive threat right now. Michael's Marketplace just opened, and Go Imagine's advertising, and so is Artisan Co-op, which just opened this month. And because of that, they're all advertising for new vendors. So rather than fight against them and increase the amount that we're spending on those ads, I decided it would be best to just focus on the product ads for now. So I've diverted all the money that we were spending on sort of brand awareness ads and those types of advertising. I've diverted that to a new advertising platform called Taboola. And Taboola allows you to buy digital native ads on News Today and various other news sites across the internet. Lower rates than Google, a lot less trash websites that we show up on compared to Google. Gets a little bit better at use for our money. Additionally, I've increased the amount that we spend on Google product ads, and I focused those on conversions, and we're seeing a large uptick in the number of sales on the site because of those conversions. Google ads are still a little bit more expensive than Facebook ads, but what we're finding is that there's a higher conversion rate on all Google product ads compared to the Facebook product ads. So even though the amount of traffic that you see on products across the board might go down, you're going to see a much higher conversion rate out of those Google ads than you were seeing out of the Facebook ads. I feel like I've said the word ads too many times in this video. So long term, those are all the changes that I have. You'll notice the features page and the product page will be the next two pages in our big redesign that will be affected next. After I'm done with the full website redesign, I will be moving on to working on the mobile apps for both iOS and Android. I am going to have to look for another solution for redesigning those. The code that we're using is a little too strict as to how it generates its styling, and we need a little bit more flexibility on that. So I'll be working with the developer that helped us get the mobile apps working. Hopefully we can come up with a solution for creating a more flexible templating system for those products. In the meantime, if you have any questions related to My Community Made or related to what we're working on in the future, please feel free to leave a comment on here. You can always email me, support@mycommunitymade.com. Be sure to subscribe so that you see any tutorials that we have coming up and so that you can see future weekly updates.